Dear students, greetings of the day. Today we are going to see the first supplementary reader on Monday morning. This story is adapted from the novel The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, written by Mark Twain. Okay, his original name is Samuel Langone Clems. He was born on 30th November 1835 at Florida, US. He published all his works under his pen name Mark Twain. Okay, he was an American writer, humorist, entrepreneur, and then publisher. Okay, he was admired as a great humorist and he was the father of American literature. Okay, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, a novel, was published in the year 1876. Okay, from that only one small part which is taken and given to us as a supplementary reader. Okay, Tom Sawyer was the main character in this story. Okay, he was portrayed as a young, mischievous, and playful boy of 12 years old. Okay, now let us move on to the story. Monday morning found Tom Sawyer miserable. Monday morning always found him so because it began another week slow suffering in school. He generally began that day with wishing he had no holiday in between. It made the going into prison again so much worse. Here it was a Monday morning. Tom Sawyer seems to be unhappy. Okay, on every Monday morning he will feel unhappy because on the day he want to go to school after 2 days of weekend holidays. Okay, here he generally begin that day with wishing that he had no holidays in between that week, and he felt very worst and think that he was going into prison again. Here what is meant prison? Here school is mentioned as prison. Okay, next, Tom lay thinking. Presently it occurred to him that he wished he was sick, then he could stay home from school. He examined himself, no sickness was found, and he investigated again. This naughty boy Tom Sawyer was lying on the bed and thinking many plans to avoid going to school. Okay, soon he began to think that if he acted like he was sick, then surely he could stay home from school. So he examined himself again and again, but there was no sickness of symptoms in his body. Okay, this time he could detect stomachache, but it soon grew feeble and presently died wholly. He reflected further. At last he found out that he had a stomachache, and soon it vanished and he had no stomachache now. Then he continued to examine throughout his body for some pain to find reason to not go to school. Okay, suddenly he discovered something. One of his upper front teeth was loose. This was lucky. He went about to begin to groan as a starter, as he called it, when it occurred to him that if he came into court with that argument, his aunt would pull it out and that would hurt. So he thought he would hold the tooth in reserve for the present and seek further. Suddenly he noticed something, that one of his upper front teeth was loose and not fixed properly. Okay, so he felt that this reason was lucky and he was ready to complain about this with his aunt Polly. Okay, but he thought that his aunt would pull out the teeth and it may hurt with lot of pain. Okay, so he decided to hold the tooth in reserve and seek further for some other reason. Okay, nothing offered for some little time, and then he remembered hearing the doctor tell about a certain thing that laid up a patient for 2 or 3 weeks and threatened to make him lose a finger. For little time he couldn't find any other reason. Then he remembered that once the doctor was advising him about a sore toe which held up a patient for 2 or 3 weeks on bed, and the doctor threatened him that if you do like this means you may lose your finger. Like that, the daughter threatened him. Okay. So the boy eagerly drew his sore toe from under the sheet and held it up for inspection. But now he didn't know the necessary symptoms. Now he felt this idea will work out, so he took his sore toe from the bed sheet and held it up for inspection. But now he couldn't find out any necessary symptoms. Okay. However, it seemed worthwhile to chance it, so he fell groaning with considerable spirit. However, the reason seemed to be worthwhile, so he started groaning. What is meant by groaning? Groaning means making a painful sound. Okay. But Sid slept unconscious. Tom groaned louder and vanished that he began to feel pain in the toe. No result from Sid. Here, Tom's brother Sid was slept on unconscious. So, Tom making a painful sound louder and louder, and he imagined that he is having lot of pain in his toe. Okay, but there was no result from Sid because he was sleeping deeply. Okay. Tom was panting with his exertion. By this time, he took a rest and then swelled himself up and fetched a succession of admirable groans. Sid snored on. Tom was aggravated. He said, "Sit, sit," and shook him. Okay. Here, Tom became very tired and he was breathing quickly. Okay. Then he took a rest and then he bring a succession that his sore toe was swelled and became larger. Okay. So he expressed his pain. But Sid was sleeping deeply and he making a grunting sound while he is in deep sleep. So Tom was irritated and became more serious. So Tom shook him to wake him up and to tell his imaginary sickness. Okay. This course worked well and the Tom began to groan again. Sid yawned, stretched, then brought himself upon his elbow with a snort and began to stare at Tom. Tom went on groaning. Here, Tom was groaning louder and louder. By seeing that, Sid felt very bad for his asleep, and he was shocked to see the Tom's condition. Okay. Sid said, "Tom, say, Tom." No response. Here, "Tom, what's the matter, Tom?" And he shook him and looked in his face anxiously. Tom moaned out, "Oh, don't, Sid. Don't shake me." "Why? What's the matter, Tom?" "I must call Auntie." "No, never mind. It will be over by and by. Maybe don't call anybody." Then Sid asked Tom, "What happened to you?" But there was no response from Tom. Okay. Then Sid shook him and looked his face tensely and said, "Wait, I will call our aunt." At that time, the Tom moaned that, "Don't shake me, and I think it will over by now, and the pain will over by now, so you don't call anybody." Like that, Tom said. Okay. "But I must don't groan so." "Tom, it's awful. How long you been this way?" "Hoarse? Urge." "Oh, don't stir so." "Sid, you will kill me." Here, stir means move slightly. Awful means terrible. Okay. Here what Sid said is, don't groan like this because it is terrible to hear. Okay. Hear that sound, that groaning sound. Okay. "How long will you be suffering like this?" "I think near to 1 hour I am suffering." Okay. Then Tom said, "Don't shook or move me slightly. I think you may kill me if you do like this." Like that, Tom said. Okay. "Tom, why didn't you wake me sooner?" "Oh, Tom, don't. It makes my flesh crawl to hear you. What is the matter?" "Tom, why don't you wake me sooner? Don't cry like this. It makes me too afraid to hear your groaning sound. Tell me, what's the problem you are having? He asked. Okay, I forgive you for everything, Sid groaned. Everything you have ever done to me when I am gone. Oh, Tom, you aren't dying, are you? Don't, Tom. Oh, don't, maybe. Here, Tom said to Sid that I forgive you for everything you have ever done to me. I think I may gone now. By hearing this, Sid said that Tom, you are not going to die now. So please stop groaning and moaning like a foolish. Okay. I forgive everybody, Sid groaned. Tell them so, Sid, and Sid, you give my window sash and my cat with one eye to the new town and tell her. Here, Tom said, I forgive everybody for all mistakes, and he informed Sid to hand over the window sash. What is meant by window sash? It is a part of the window that holds the glass and the framework around the glass to keep it in the same place. Okay, so he asked to hand over that window sash and his cat with one eye to the new girl who came to town. Okay, but Sid had snatched his clothes and gone. Tom was suffering in reality. Now his imagination was working well, and so his groans had gathered quite a genuine tone. Here, Tom told Sid that he was going to die, so Sid thought that Tom was really suffering with great pain. Here, Tom's imagination was working well, and his groans looked like his voice was in genuine tone and he was suffering really. Okay, Sid flew downstairs and said, Oh, Aunt Polly, come. Tom's dying. What? Dying? Yes. Don't wait, come quick. Rubbish, I don't believe it. Sid ran as fast as with great speed through downstairs and called his Aunt Polly to save Tom from dying. Okay, by hearing this, Aunt Polly didn't believe what Sid had said to her. Okay, but she fled upstairs nevertheless, with Sid and Mary at her heels, and her face grew white too, and her lip trembled when she reached the bedside. She said, Why, Tom? Tom, what's the matter with you? But she rushed and came running in upstairs to see the Tom. Okay, at that time, Aunt Polly's face became pale and her lips started shivering. Okay, after reaching Tom's bed, she asked, What happened to you? What's the problem you are having now? Okay. Oh, Auntie, I am. What is the matter with you? What's the matter with you, child? Oh, Auntie, my sore toys are dying. Here, Tom, what's the matter with you and what's the matter with you, child? Like that he asked, no. Then, oh, Auntie, my sore toys are dying. The old lady sank down into a chair and laughed a little, then cried a little, then did both together. This made her feel better, and she said, Tom, what's a turn you did give me? Now you shut up that nonsense and climb out of this. Here, Tom said that his sore toe was dying, and the Aunt Polly understood quickly that Tom had a plan and he was only pretending. What is meant by pretending? Acting like something. Okay, he's acting like he's having pain. So she sat down into a chair and laughed a little and then cried a little, and she is expressing a mixed emotions. Okay, here Aunt Polly started scolding Tom that shut up this nonsense and come out of this acting. Okay, then the groans stopped and the pain vanished from the toe. The boy felt a little foolish and he said, Aunt Polly, it seemed dying and it hurt so I never minded my tooth at all. Your tooth? Indeed? What's the matter with your tooth? One of them is loose and it aches perfectly awful. Then the Tom stopped groaning and he said his sore toe pain was vanished. Okay, Tom felt little foolish about his performance, okay. But yet he informed the Aunt Polly about his loose tooth and it aches perfectly awful, okay. It's he's having very heavy pain in his tooth, like that he said, okay. Then there, now don't begin that groaning again. Open your mouth well. Your tooth is loose, but you are not going to die for that. Mary, get me a silk thread and a chunk of fire out of the kitchen. And Polly checked all his tooth and found one tooth was loose. Okay. For that, she said, don't act like groaning again, and you are not going to die for this loose tooth, okay. Then Aunt Polly asked Mary, Tom's cousin, to bring a silk thread and a chunk of fire. Chunk of fire means broken piece of wood. Broken piece of wood, okay. To chunk of fire out of our kitchen to pull out his tooth, okay. Tom said, oh, please, Auntie, don't pull it out. It don't hurt anymore. I wish I may never stir if it does. Please don't, Auntie. I don't want to stay home from school. But Tom requested his Aunt Polly not to pull out his tooth. I think it may not hurt me anymore. So please don't pull it out. And then he confessed her that he didn't want to stay home from school, okay. Oh, you don't you? So all this row was because you thought you would get to stay home from school and go fishing. Tom, I love you so, and you seem to try every way you can to break my old heart with your mischief, okay. So all this confusion was because you was not interested to go school and you want to stay home, and then you want to go for fishing. Am I right? Yeah. Why, Tom? Why are you doing like this? I love you so much, but you try to break my heart by your mischievous activities, okay. By this time, the dental instruments were ready. The old lady made one end of the silk thread fast to Tom's tooth with a loop and she tied the other to the bedpost. But here, Aunt Polly said that the dental instruments were ready now. So she fastly made one end of the silk thread to Tom's tooth with a curve and tied the other to the bedpost, okay. Then she caught hold of the chunk of fire and suddenly pushed it almost into the boy's face. The tooth was hanging loosely by the bedpost now. Here, Aunt Polly pulled out his tooth with the help of the thread and the chunk of fire, okay. Now the tooth was hanging loosely in the bedpost, okay. Okay, the story got over now. Now let me summarize the story in few words. Listen carefully. Tom, naughty boy, framed many plans to avoid going to school on one Monday morning, okay. Finally, he pretended that his sore toe was dying. Sid, who is his younger brother for Tom, believed it and called his aunt to save Tom from dying, okay. But Aunt Polly understood his plan to stay home from school and go for fishing. So she pulled out his tooth, made him stay home on bed. Though the Tom tried to break her heart by mischievous activities, but still she loved him more and more, okay. Then she was firm in handling him or mentoring him to make him a good boy, okay. Okay. Now let us move on to the book back exercise. Listen here. Listen the glossary. Here they gave you some glossaries. Read these glossaries well to know the meaning for hard words, okay. Next one. Let us see. Here they gave you the lines from the lesson and they asked you to write the speaker of the given lines, okay. Listen here. No, never mind. It will be over by and by maybe. Don't call anybody. These lines were said by Tom. Okay, the answer for the first one is Tom. Tom, Tom. Okay. Second one, it makes my flesh crawl to hear you. What is the matter? These lines were said by Sid. Okay, S-I-D, Sid. The second one answer is Sid. Okay. Third one, your tooth indeed. What's the matter with your tooth? These lines were from the lesson. These lines were said by Anne Polly. Okay, these lines were said by Anne Polly. Okay. The answer of the third one is Anne Polly. Okay. Next we move on to the true or false. First one, Tom enjoyed Monday mornings as he had go to school. No. So the answer for first one is false. Okay. Second one, Tom's first groan woke up Sid from his sound sleep. No. This one also wrong one. So second one answer also false. Okay. Third one, Tom wanted to give his dog with one eye to the new girl who had come to town. No, this one also wrong statement. So false. Fourth one, Aunt Polly sent Sid to fetch the dentist. No, this statement also wrong. So the answer for the fourth one is false. Okay. Okay. I will give you the homework now. Read the glossaries well. Then lessons from the lines from the lesson and try to find out the speaker. Then true or false. These three Romans you have to read and write the test. Okay. Okay. Now I am going to wind up this session. Thank you, students.